gentlemen, welcome to the Verb Circus. My name is Kyle Miller, and I'm here with two fantastic guests. Two guests who have done a great job in the first program, and this is our second show of the week. And I want to remind you we have some great prizes, including audio CDs every single day. And at the end of the week, our weekly winner will take home a one-year subscription to our monthly magazine, the Vaughan Review, right there. You can get your copy at vaughanreview.com. We also have a grand prize here on the Verb Circus of a visit, a stay, una estancia in Vaughan Town. What a great prize it is. Anyhow, it's time to get the show started as we always do. Let's meet our contestants. All right, joining me once again, we have Marta. How are you doing, Marta?
I'm really good, thank you.
Good, good. And Marta, who was in sunny California not too long ago, right? When did you go to California?
I left last year in August. I came back in July last year.
July. Okay, so you were there for a full year.
11 months, yeah.
Okay, and you told me before that you'd recommend it. It's a nice place to visit?
Yes.
Okay,
Definitely.
very good. And who's with you today? Again?
Marivi.
Marivi, it's Marivi. How you doing, Marivi?
Very well, thank you.
Good, good. And Marivi, who you lived in Holland for a year.
2 years.
Sorry, 2 years.
No
That's
problem.
right. That's right. And you're also a regular on Vaughan Radio. You come to the radio sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
sometimes.
With Alberto.
Whenever I can. Yes, with Alberto.
Yeah. Do you enjoy the radio?
Yes, he's very fun. Also, it's
Yeah.
wonderful the show.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Marta, you should come to the radio sometime as well. I'm sure you'd enjoy it.
I did once.
Oh, did you?
Yes, with Laila.
Oh, good. Good.
yeah.
Excellent. Did you have fun?
Yes, I did.
Excellent. Good. Good stuff. All right. Well, before we start, before we choose our verb, ladies, we've got to take a look at our scores, just to see where we stand. So let's see our scores here. We have Marta and Marivi with two excellent scores. De puntuación. Just take a look there. I think you're tied, right? Yeah, 80 to 80, right there. So what do you think is going to happen today, Marivi? Do you think you're going to take the lead?
I hope so. I'll try.
Yeah, I'll try. Okay, but you have a tough competitor there,
Yes.
right? Because Marta's doing a great job as well. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Who knows? But it all starts by choosing our verb of the day. I've got a good feeling about it. Got a good feeling about it. The verb's coming in. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. To be used to. This is a good one. It's the verb to be. Right? To be used to. But not only to be used to, but we'll also talk about used to, as in I used to plus infinitive. So there's a lot of different uses that surround this idea of used to. Okay, so here the conjugation, I'll discuss this again because it's the verb to be. So I am used to. When I was young, well, Marivi, when I was young, you could say I
was used to, I don't know, watch cartoons.
Watching cartoons.
Watching
I
cartoons.
was used to. And in the present perfect, I have been used to, right? So I am used to, I was used to, I have been used to. Okay, let's talk about our uses of today's verb. Used to plus infinitive is a past form. Solía hacer algo. So ask me where I used to live, Marivi.
Kyle, where did you used to live?
Right, now what does she want to know?
She wants to know, where do you used to live?
She wants to know where you...
Where you used to live.
Exactly, no auxiliary verb there. She wants to know where you used to live. I used to live in Canada. Yes. Ask me if I used to live in a big city or a small town.
Do you used to live in a small city? Or
Well, a big city or a small town?
do you used to live in a small town, a big city?
In a small town or a big city? I used to live in a small town. I used to live in a small town. Okay, so ask me if I used to play sports when I was young.
Did you used to play sports when you were young?
Yes, I used to. I used to play sports when I was young. Did you used to play sports when you were younger?
Yes, I did. I used to play sports when I was young.
Okay. And you're still young. Do you still play sports?
Yes.
Good. What sports do you play?
I ran and I danced.
Oh, great, great. So notice we say to play sports. We don't say to practice. We don't practice sports. It's like ensayar. No, we don't practice. We play sports, okay? Now, our second use, to get used to, right? Acostumbrarse a algo, or to get used to something, or to get used to doing something. So, ask me if it was difficult for me to get used to living in Spain.
Okay.
Ask me if it was difficult. Yeah.
Kyle, was it difficult for you to live in Spain?
To get used to.
Was it difficult for you to get used to live in Spain?
To living.
To live in, yeah.
In
general.
Spain.
Living in Spain.
No, it wasn't difficult for me to get used to living in Spain. So to get used to, followed by the gerund. This is very important, to get used to living. So to get used to something is the temporary period of becoming accustomed to something. After we get used to it, we are used to it. So are you used to American culture?
Yes, I'm used to American culture.
Okay. Ask me if I'm used to Spanish food.
Are you used to Spanish food?
Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am used to Spanish food. I am used to Spanish food. It took me a little bit of time, but I am used to Spanish food. All right, great job. We've done a great job. Let's move. I think you understand all these uses, right?
Yes.
No problem?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on now to our translation challenge. All right. Once again, there was a lot of content in very little time there. So hopefully you've caught on to everything, and we'll do all right with the translation challenge. Remember, you will see on the screen the Spanish y 3 opciones en inglés, y tienes que elegir la traducción correcta. Para ganar 5 puntos for 5 points. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, they're ready and they're excited. Let's hear example number 1.
¿Está ella acostumbrada al calor?
Ooh. A. She is used to the heat. B. Is she get used to the heat? And C. Is she used to the heat? You have 5 seconds. Ding! All right. Marta, do you have the right answer?
I think so.
Okay, what have you got for us?
See?
She says it's C. Do you think that Marivi has the same answer as you?
I think so.
Okay, what have you got, Marivi?
Sí.
C as well. And the ladies are correct. Good job, ladies. Can you read it for me, Marta?
Yes. Is she used to the heat?
Sorry?
Is she used to the heat?
Is she used to the heat? Is she used to the heat? Ask me if I'm used to the heat in Madrid in the summertime.
Kyle, are you used to the heat in Madrid in summertime?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. It bothers me. I'll never get used to it. I could live here for 100 years and I would never get used to the heat in Madrid in the summertime. I can't get used to it. Let's hear number 2.
Antes nevaba mucho aquí en invierno.
Okay. A. It used to snow a lot here in winter. B. It's used to snowing a lot here in winter. And C. It usually snowed a lot here in winter. All right, Marivi, she pulled that card out, no problem. No problem, Kyle. Piece of cake. Pan comido. Piece of cake, she says. All right, what have you got for us, Marivi? A. She says it's A. Okay, and Marta?
A.
Marta agrees. It's A, and I agree with them both. Good job for 5 points. Can you read it for us, Marivi?
Yes. It used to snow a lot here in winter.
Yes, it used to plus infinitive, right? When we're talking about the past form, remember, with the past form, used to plus infinitive, always, okay? So remember, always repeat out loud at home. Okay, let's hear number 3.
¿Te acostumbraste a tu nuevo coche rápidamente?
Good question. Good question. A. Did you used to your car quickly? B. Did you get used to your new car quickly? And C. Did you used to yourself to your new car quickly? You never know. You never know. You could be right, you could be wrong, right? Who knows? Do you think you have the right answer, Marta?
I think so.
She's confident in there. All right, okay. What's the answer then, Marta?
B.
B, okay.
B, too.
And she says B. Can you read it out loud for us?
Yes. Did you get used to your new car quickly?
Yeah, used to. And remember that used to, we link the sound. Used to, used to, used to. Say it again.
Used to?
Yeah, used to, exactly. Used to, used to. Did you get used to your new car quickly? That's the correct answer. Good job for 5 points. The ladies are doing really well here with the translations. Good job. Let's hear our last example, number 4.
La vivienda antes era más barata.
Okay. A. The houses used to be cheaper. B. Housing was more cheap before. And C. Housing used to be cheaper. Okay, we'll go to Mariví first. What have you got for us, Mariví?
C.
She says it's C. Can you read that out loud?
Me?
Yeah, just say it.
Housing used to be cheaper.
Okay, and Marta?
A.
She says A. The houses used to be cheaper. Now we say la vivienda en general. Here, for the first time, they have different answers. The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is in fact C. Good job, Mariví, because when we talk about housing in general, well, la vivienda, we say housing. Is it true that housing used to be cheaper in Spain? Marta?
Yes. I think so.
20 years ago?
Yes.
Surely, surely. So can you read that for us? C. Marta?
Yes. Housing used to be cheaper.
Yeah, housing used to be cheaper. All right, so that's 5 points for Mariví. Good job. Let's take a look at our scores now after the first round of the translation challenge and see where they stand. We have Marta with 95 and Mariví cracking the 100 points. It's a milestone, we
Yes.
say, right? 100 points. Great job. You're both doing very, very well. Let's move on now to our other uses. All right, here in our other uses, something different. I just want to talk about usually. Usually, suelo hacer algo, usually followed by the present simple. I usually. For example, ask me where I usually have lunch.
Kyle, where do you usually have lunch?
I usually have lunch at home. It's almost like saying normalmente. I usually have lunch at home. But because of the sound of this word, people often confuse it with used to, but it's not the same, right? I used to live in Canada. That's in the past. I usually have lunch at home. It's in the present. I usually have lunch at home. Where do you usually have lunch, Marta?
I usually have lunch at home too.
Usually have lunch at home. Okay. Do you usually meet with friends on the weekends?
Not really. I don't. Sorry. I don't usually meet with friends on the weekends.
On the weekends. Do you usually stay in Madrid, Marta? Do you usually stay in Madrid on the weekends?
Yes, I usually stay in Madrid during the weekends.
Okay. Do you usually have breakfast at home, Marta?
Yes, I usually have breakfast at home.
Ask me where I usually have breakfast.
Where do you usually have breakfast?
Right. Now, what does she want to know?
She wants to know where do you usually have breakfast?
No auxiliary verb. She wants to know where you.
She wants to know where do you have breakfast?
No, where you usually.
Where you usually have breakfast.
Yes. She wants to know where you usually have breakfast. I usually have breakfast at home as well. Sometimes, it doesn't mean always, but I usually have breakfast at home. Sometimes I have breakfast at work, but I usually have breakfast at home. Ask me if I usually go to Canada for Christmas.
Do you usually go to Canada on Christmas?
For Christmas.
Sorry. Do you usually go to Canada for Christmas?
Yes, yes. Well, what does she want to know?
She wants to know if you go to Canada for Christmas. If you usually go to Canada for Christmas.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I do. I usually go to Canada for Christmas. In fact, I always go to Canada for Christmas. All right, great job, ladies. This is an important structure, usually. Okay, let's move on now to round 2 of the translation challenge. All right, here we are back with the translation challenge again. Here we are, translation challenge number 2. And you know how this one works. It's exactly the same as the first one, except instead of 5 points, we're playing for 10. So we're raising the stakes a little bit this time. All right, let's start off with example number 1.
Me acostumbré enseguida a llevar corbata.
Okay, option A. I got used to wearing a tie immediately. B, I used to wearing a tie right away. And C, right away, I was used to wearing a tie. You have 5 seconds. The confidence, you just like, wow, no problem, she says. All right. Okay, Marta, what do you think the answer is?
A,
She says it's A. Can you read it out loud?
I got used to wearing a tie immediately.
Okay, and Mariví?
A2.
You agree with her. Okay. I got used to wearing a tie immediately. Sometimes they're not always right, but ladies and gentlemen, they are right this time for 10 points. Great job. I hope you agreed with the ladies. I got used to wearing a tie immediately. I got used to wearing a tie immediately. Great. Let's hear number 2.
¿Solías tener problemas con él?
Okay. Option A. Did you usually have problems with him? B. Did you have problems with him? And C. Did you used to have problems with him? 5 seconds. Okay. Mariví?
I'm not sure, but I think it's C.
Okay. And Marta?
C,
Marta says, are you sure about that one, Marta?
I think so.
Okay, very good. I like the confidence. Very good. And they're both right again. 10 points. Did you used to have problems with him? Can you read it for us again, Mariví?
Yes. Did you used to have problems with him?
Again, say it again. Nice question, Internet. Did you used to have problems?
Did you used to have problems with him?
Good, yes, problems. Remember, problems. You have the M. You have to close your lips with the M. Problems. Problems. Good job. All right, let's hear question number 3.
Supongo que me tendré que acostumbrar a ello.
A. I suppose I'll have to getting used to it. B. I guess I'll have to get used to it. And C. I suppose I'll have to get myself used to it. Supongo que. Mariví, what do you think the answer is
I
this
think
time?
it's B.
It's B, okay. Okay. And Marta?
B,
B as well. Supongo que can be I suppose, but it can also be I guess. And the ladies are right for 10 points. So at home, hopefully you've got that answer as well. Say it out loud with me at home. I guess I'll have to get used to it. I guess I'll have to get used to it with the contraction. Good job. I guess I'll have to get used to it. All right, let's move on to our 4th and final question.
Discutíamos mucho en aquellos tiempos.
A. We used to argue a lot back then. B. We usually argued a lot in those times. And C. We used to discuss a lot at those times. All right, Marta, what's the answer for this one?
A,
A, okay, and Mariví
A.
says A. Wow, the ladies are in fact on a roll, and they've got 10 points. Good job. We used to argue a lot back then. So, Marta, what's the difference between arguing and discussing?
argue, it's more fighting maybe, and discussing is talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Dialogue.
Exactly. Good definition. Argue is when you're just, well, sorry, arguing is when you disagree and you're no, yes, no, and you're, you have a difference of opinion and you're sort of fighting in your discussion. That's right. But a discussion is simply talking. We're talking about things. We had a discussion before the show.
Yes.
But we didn't have an argument, did
No,
we?
we didn't.
No. Did you two have an argument before the show?
No,
No.
we didn't.
But did you have a discussion before the show?
Yes.
Yes.
we did.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, well done, ladies. Let's take a look at our scores here. I'm sure they're fantastic. Let's take a look at the scores. We have Marta with 135, just 5 points off. Mariví with 140. Great scores indeed. Let's move on now to our expression of the day. All right. Our expression of the day today is, you'd better get used to it. You'd better get used to this. You'd better get used to it. What does this mean?
Que más vale que te acostumbres.
Exactly. Yeah, you'd better get used to it. So if I say, you know what, I came here to Spain, but I don't like Spanish food. I don't like jamón and I don't like tortilla, for example. And you say, well, Kyle, so tell me, well, Kyle,
You better get used to it.
and remember, you'd, with a nice contraction. Say it again.
You'd better get used to it.
Okay, one more time. And now pretend you're a little bit angry. Well, Kyle, you'd better get used to it.
Well, Kyle, you better get used to it.
Nice, good. Okay, so tell me again.
Me?
Yeah.
Kyle, you'd better get used to it.
You'd better get used to it. One more time.
You'd better get used to it.
Good. You'd better get used to it, right? Okay, great job with our expression of the day. You'd better get used to it. It's not going to change, right? We can't change things, so you're just going to have to deal with it. You'd better get used to it. Okay, all right, let's move on now to my favorite part of the show, the speed round. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the speed round. Yeah, this is my favorite part of the show. This is where we get our winners and our non-winners, we'll say, because this is the trickiest part of the show. That's right. Vas a ver en pantalla la frase en español, bueno, la respuesta, y tú en casa tienes que formar la pregunta pidiendo la información que sale en rojo. Okay, so remember to pay attention to the part in red, and remember not to ask the question until you press the button and your light comes on after I say go. All right, so the first round will be for 2 minutes. Let's put 2 minutes up there on the clock. I think we're ready. Let's start the clock. I couldn't get used to it because it was too difficult. Go. Marta.
Why couldn't you get used to it?
One more time.
Why couldn't you get used to it?
Very good. Remember, it's a question. Why couldn't you get used to it? Why couldn't you get used to it? Very good. Okay. Next example. I used to live with Maria. Go. Marta.
Who did you used to live with?
Okay, one more time with the who did you used to live with?
Who did you used to live with?
Again?
Who did you used to live with?
Okay, good. That's good for 10 points. Who did you used to live with? Who did you used to live with? Very good. Next example. They used to live in Boston. Go. Mariví.
Where did they used to live?
Again?
Where did they used to live?
Where did they used to live? Again, where did they used to live?
Where they used to live?
Where did they
used to live?
Good. That's correct for 10 points. Good job. Where did they used to live? Very good. Next example. I used to own the red one. Go. Marta.
Which one do you used to own?
Good. Good job. That's good for 10 points. Which one did you used to own? Which one did you used to own? Good. Next example. It took me 2 years to get used to him. Go. Marta.
How long did it take you to get used to him?
Good. One more time.
How long did it take you to get used to him?
Good. How long? How long? ¿Cuánto tiempo? How long did it take you to get used to him? Very good. Next example. I wasn't used to it because I had never tried it before. Go. Mariví.
Why wasn't you used to it?
Ooh, I'm afraid not.
Why weren't
That's
you?
minus 10. That's minus 10. Pass or play.
Why weren't
You gotta hit the button. You gotta hit the button. Unfortunately, she didn't hit the button on time. Let's go to our judges. Let's go to our judges in the control booth. No, unfortunately, we can't give it to you. It was after the bell. We can't give it to you. Okay, but I tried my best. Why weren't you used to it? Okay, I wasn't used to it because I had never tried. Why weren't you? Not wasn't you. Okay, so that was minus 10 there for Mariví in the last question. And then we ran out of time. Let's look at our scores and see where the ladies stand after the first half of the speed round. Wow, Marta moving ahead. Great job, 175 points, and Mariví's there with 140. Still a very good score. But that was only our first 2 minutes of the speed round. We have another minute to go. And remember, the exercise is the same. That's right, so we're gonna put up another minute on the clock. Let's get a minute up there, and we're gonna continue. Are you ready, ladies?
Yes, we are.
Okay, they're ready to go. let's start the clock. I was used to the old version. Go. Mariví.
Which version were you used to?
Good. One more time.
Which version were you used to?
Were you?
Used to?
Were you used to? Correct. Which version were you used to? Good job. Next example. Stephen used to live in France. Go. Mariví.
Where did Stephen used to live?
I'm afraid not. Minus 10. Minus 10. Pass or play?
Pass the play.
Go ahead.
Who used to live in France?
Who? Correct. Yeah, correct. Again, say it again.
Who used to live in France?
Who used to live in France? Because we're emphasizing Stephen. Who used to live in France? Very good. Next example. She's used to it because she grew up with it. Go.
Why is
Marta.
she used to it?
Again.
Why is she used to it?
Why is she used to it? Correct. 10 points. Why is she used to it? And we're out of time. Ding. Just like that. We're out of time. She's used to it because she grew up with it. Why is she used to it? Question. Wow. Let's take a look at the scores at the end of today's program. Let's see where the ladies stand. Let's see our total scores here. We have Marta with a total of 195. Wow. Great total. Mariví with 140, also a very good score. You're both doing a fantastic job. Hopefully at home you're keeping your own score as well and following along. I want to remind you that you can see all the content here on our website. Podéis volver a concursar con las mismas preguntas del programa de hoy aquí mismo en nuestra página web, aprendeinglés.com. Lots of great content there, and I've got a few prizes to give to these ladies. I'm going to do that right now. Great job.
Thank you.
Great job. You're doing great. They're doing a fantastic job, and they're going to be taking home a few prizes courtesy of our friends at Vaughan Radio. This is the Verb Circus Volume 2 in MP3 format, 20 programs. Get your copy today at vaughantienda.com. This is for you.
Thank you.
And for you.
Thank you.
Fantastic job. Thanks to you for watching and for participating in Voz Alta with us here from home. We'll see you next time on the Verb Circus.